Yeah, so welcome to level 2 training. So before we start, what I'll do is so what we will do is we will have probably 15-20 minutes of my training part, and then we can have any question and answer, any doubts you have, you can ask me any questions so that I can answer them. Okay. So before we start, yeah, Suganya, I have muted you. Whenever you want to speak, just unmute and you can speak. Okay. Yeah, so let me start off with a session. So we will continue discussing a little bit about IDE. So what I did was I had mentioned yesterday that we would be covering IDE, and I will be telling 2 more IDEs, and then we will finalize on one IDE and we will be working on that. IDE is nothing but Integrated Development Environment. It is nothing but a fancy word or a sophisticated word for writing down your programs, a place where you write down your programs. That is like Notepad. In level 1, we were completely using Notepad to write all our code. In the previous video, I told about Notepad++, which has few more features or many more features than Notepad to write your program. And the next IDE that I have used for some time, and it is quite good, is Sublime Text. Sublime Text. Okay. So when you search for Sublime Text, you will find their website, and it is good. Sublime Text editor is quite good. So it looks like this, and it has many more features than Notepad++, and it has a good coloring. It has easy way of searching, easy way of navigating to the code in different places. It's quite good. So Sublime Text is one that I can recommend if you are looking at programming PHP. However, as I said, we would not be going with this. We would be taking another IDE or that is a programming tool, or where we will write our program, and that is NetBeans. Of course, NetBeans is not the ultimate, but it is free, and it has a lot of libraries. You can add a lot of external libraries to help you, create PHP, HTML, MySQL programming, and it gives you a lot of assistance. So when you create a program on NetBeans instead of Notepad, it really helps you to program much faster. You need not remember too many things. For example, in level 1, all that we did was one single page. We just created one notepad with one single page. Of course, you would have, in practice, you would have created multiple pages. But when it comes to a software, there could be hundreds, if not thousands of files, and it becomes too difficult to handle all of that in a notepad, because notepad does not understand what you're writing. It does not relate all the files that are there together. But such IDEs, that is such softwares like NetBeans and Sublime Text, they actually understand your code a little bit. There's a little bit of artificial intelligence built into it, and they help you to work with different files, to link different files easily, search different files easily. You also get a lot of suggestions. As you keep typing, you get a lot of suggestions. You need not have to remember all the commands that are there. So it's just an amazing way of programming in PHP if you have a tool like NetBeans. So I have already installed NetBeans. So let me just open NetBeans that is there on my computer. Yeah. So NetBeans being a little bigger software, it would take some time for it to load. So having said that, what I will do is I'll probably cover a little bit on the progress part. So one very good thing that has happened is we have now 3 people who have completed level 1 and who are there in level 2. So that's an amazing development that has happened. So I wish everybody to invest maximum amount of time in training and ensure that you complete your level 2 also at the earliest, and you move into the demo, that is the level 3 demo programming very fast. So that's something that I wanted to update. And one more thing that I wanted to say is, as a company, Rejola, we are not a training company. That is not what we do. What we do is we create softwares, mobile apps, and websites. And we are there in around 10 countries around the world. And we are founded in 2011. And training is something that we are doing totally free as a service that I would like to personally give to anyone who is aspiring to grow in their career. And it is mainly through an initiative that we started a year and a half back called reach.rejola.com. Reach, that's an initiative, and one of the visionary for Reach is our team member Durga. So she created, she is the inspiration behind us creating Reach, and then we decided that okay, we will train people completely for free as a service. So that is not what we do. Okay. So having said that, I think my NetBeans is just open. So let me show you NetBeans. So this is how NetBeans looks like. It is much heavier than a simple notepad, obviously, and it really helps you to write your programs in a much better manner. So what I will do right now is I will bring in the file that I had edited in a couple of classes, before. So let me just open that desktop training, and if I sorry, I had put it in exam. Yeah, so we had installed exam. So inside exam, htdocs, html documents, and this is the file that we had edited some time back. We had edited this. Basically, we put the entire bootstrap code that we had written in the previous level, and we just dumped it into this index.php, and then we loaded this particular file in localhost. Okay, if you remember, we loaded it in localhost. So let me come here and type Sublime Text and also then type NetBeans, because we have discussed both of them. Okay, so what we did is we had loaded it in localhost. Now, will it work now? If I type localhost, will it work? Okay, if you have been following what we discussed in the previous two videos, it will not work for a simple reason that the server is not on. That is, the exam Linux server is not on, and since that is not on, the computer won't even recognize what we are doing here. Why are we even writing localhost? It will even think that probably we are doing a Google search, and it's confused how to treat this localhost right now. So if this file has to load, your exam server has to be on. So let me just open exam. So there it is, exam control panel. So we'll have to switch on the Apache Linux server, and only then this particular local host will run, and your index.php, whatever content is there, will show on the browser. So my exam has opened here, and let me start the Apache. So Suganya, if you have any doubt, you can just unmute and ask me, because this is an interactive class. So any doubt you have, any questions you have, please do.
Sir, I have one doubt, sir. NewsPair is also NewsPair is one of the PHP program languages. Why you not say that, sir?
Which one?
NewsPair, sir. NewsPair and Dreamweaver.
Oh, okay.
Software.
Can you just type that in the? I understood Dreamweaver. I did not understand the other one that you said. Can you just type it in the chat?
Okay, sir.
What is the other one that you mentioned? Just type it in the chat.
Okay.
Chat will be there somewhere at the bottom. Chat. You have come through the phone or the computer?
Sir, phone, sir.
Phone. Okay. It will be at the bottom. If you see chat, will be there at the bottom. Okay. You please look at it and type the word. I really want to. Dreamweaver, I will answer you why I am not using it. The other one also I will answer you once you tell me on chat. Okay. See now.
NewsPair, sir. NewSPHERE. NewsPair.
Okay. Honestly speaking, I have not heard of NewsPair PHP. Okay, commercial.
This one, sir.
Okay. See, is it free?
No, sir. It's not free, sir.
Okay, fine. So what I'm covering here is basically free IDEs. So if you would have noticed, the training is free, Notepad was free, Notepad++ was free, Sublime also I said there's a free version, and NetBeans is also a free version. So we are looking at, we are discussing basically the free versions that are available. As I said, probably this new sphere is much advanced than NetBeans, but NetBeans it has everything that the programmer requires. And Dreamweaver, now coming to Dreamweaver, the simple reason why I did not pick up Dreamweaver is also for the same reason, that is, you don't have, I mean, it's a paid version. You have to pay for Dreamweaver, and Dreamweaver is an amazing software. I really, if someone can afford it, I can also recommend Dreamweaver. That's also a good software. But what we are covering here, NetBeans, is a free software. Okay. Now, did I answer your question, Suganya?
Sir, I'm not here.
You couldn't hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was just saying that the Dreamweaver and NewSphere are paid softwares.
Okay, sir, I understood, sir.
Yeah, whereas all the others that I have said are actually free software. That's the only thing, nothing else. Yeah, and NetBeans actually has a lot of features in it.
Sir, why I ask means I working in NewSphere and Dreamweaver, sir, in past company.
Very good. Those are really good, and that's what I'm saying. They are a good development environments if you can afford it. If you're paying for it. But if you want to do it for free, if you want to develop it for free, you can use NetBeans. It gives you a lot of power in developing PHP programs.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Thank you for the question. It really will help many other people. Many may have the same question, but thank you for asking me. So now coming back to what I was saying, I have opened exam control panel and I have started the exam server. And what has happened is the browser has automatically loaded the localhost page. It has loaded the localhost page. So we have it here. So this particular image, we got it from the internet. Even the next image also, we got it from the internet, from rejula.com/job. So what I will do now is I will bring that project here. And Suganya, since you've already used the IDEs, different IDEs before, of course, this is not going to be difficult for you. So if I click here as a new project, what I'll do is I'll just browse the, I'm going to do a PHP project, yes, PHP application with existing source. So let me put an existing source here. And source folder. So I'll just go and navigate the htdocs folder itself from exam. So let me go to the C drive and go to the htdocs folder and select the htdocs. Okay. So I'm saying that is my that is the folder, and it is asking for the PHP version. It is recommending 7.2. I think I'll leave it. As I told you, I started off somewhere in 5.3. Now it's at 7.2. So I'll leave it with that. Not much of a change. And the good thing is, since PHP is such a popular language, you get a lot of help online where you can see what is the change between 5.3 and 7.2. So it's not a major change, probably a small 5% change in the coding. Otherwise, overall, everything is the same. So next. And index file it's picking up here, and I think I need not have to do much. So I'm just finishing it. So you will see here that the project is loading up here, and it will basically, what it is doing is it is scanning the entire folder. It is scanning all the files in the folder, and what the NetBeans does is it actually even understands the folders. It understands the different lines that are there. It understands the linking of one file with another. So all that indexing happens very well, with NetBeans. So all that is taken care. So we can see that the entire program is now loaded here, and it is much better in terms of layout when compared to a notepad. It's much better. You really can visually see what is there in the entire in the entire program. So you can visually have a feel of everything. And what I'll do is I'll probably just change something here, and I will load it on the browser here just to show that it is done. Okay, so I'll just change here and show it over there. So we loaded htdocs. We loaded that particular project now. So let me update this here. So what would I change? For example, I'll just change there is a drop down here which is shown over here. So this is a drop down. So what I'll do is I'll change the first one and the second one. I'll change the name of the drop down and I'll change the first one also. So how do I do that? So I'll just come here. I'll probably rename this to show below. I can of course do whatever I want. I'm just saying show below. So you can see that the NetBeans is actually scanning whatever you type, and it is trying to give you suggestions. It is trying to see whether it can help you in programming with little more suggestions. So that is what NetBeans is trying to do. Okay, it is a little slow right now because the NetBeans is yet to complete the background scanning. I think it just finished. It just finished the background scanning. So I just renamed it as show below, and action, let me change it as first one. Okay, I'll just change it as first one. And so you can see that it is even giving you dictionary suggestions of English words. You know, one of the challenges that I have seen with software programmers, not all of them, few of them, is that they struggle with English pronunciation, or they struggle with English, the word spellings. IDE, NetBeans goes to the extent of even suggesting you spellings or words, so that the programmer will not have to be embarrassed when his software or her software is being presented and there are a lot of spelling mistakes. So that way it gives you a lot of suggestions. Of course, this is one of the least helps that a programmer would want, but even then, I'm just telling you what is possible. So I have saved show below and first one. And when I even saved the files, I did a Control S. And when I come and refresh over here, so you'll see here it's become show below and it has become first one. So now the IDE has been installed and we are seeing how it is running. And it is basically a notepad, but with 1,000 more features than a notepad. That is what it is. So what we will do is, now that we have set up an IDE successfully, I will let me come here to the content and see what is there after the IDE. So coming here, so why is server program, background about Linux and Windows, variables, we covered variables with a PowerPoint presentation last time. And now let us see what is echo. Okay, echo is one command that I have seen being used in PHP very in a very high level, and it's been used multiple times. So I thought let me cover that as one of the contents. And what is echo? Echo is basically to show some content on the browser, or of course it's very important to understand this echo concept a little bit. To understand that, what I'll do is I'll open the PowerPoint file that I created a few days back. That is the server client PowerPoint file. Okay, now you have to understand this a little bit, because without understanding where echo is running, that particular command in PHP called echo, where is it running and what is the output of that echo? So that is something that we are going to spend a little time on now. So this PHP program, as I told before, you will be writing it on the server. Okay, though you may get confused that it is the same machine you're having on the same laptop, you're showing everything and you're saying different places, but it's not the same place, it's a different place. htdocs folder is running with a Linux server, and what is getting rendered on your browser on localhost, that particular address, is a client side. Okay, so it is appearing to be on the same place because you're working on the same laptop, but please understand, when you launch this software or the website, that is not how it is going to behave. The files, the htdocs folder is going to sit in some other location in some part of the world, and that particular server, that particular files of htdocs will be accessed through the internet on a browser somewhere else in another country or totally opposite side of the world. So you need to understand this, because in this basic configuration of what is a server, what is a client. So when I write a PHP program, I'm not writing it on the client, instead I'm writing it on the server. So when I write echo, the command of PHP, one of the command is called echo. When I write it, it is actually sitting on the server, and the output of that is rendered, whatever is shown of echo comes to the client side. Echo itself will not come to the client side. In fact, none of the PHP code that you write comes to the client side. You should understand this, that none of the PHP code that you write appears on the client side on the browser. You don't see any of those things. Okay, only what it produces as a result, which is HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, and JavaScript or whatever, that is what will come to the client side. So the PHP code will sit on the server and it will run only on the server. And whatever output from there is sent to the client when there is a request. You need to understand this because most of the softwares, when we start writing and when we start doing HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, jQuery, when we write all those things on the server with a lot of variables inside it and PHP related looping, if conditions and all that, when we do it on the server, if you don't have this clarity that what is going to the client and what will not go to the client, if that clarity is not there, you may struggle with your programs. So you need to understand this difference, okay, between that. So what I will do is, let me come here and type echo. Okay. So I want to show you echo right now. Okay. How do I show you that? Okay. What I will do is, one of the ways of, the way in which you write PHP is basically you put an open tag PHP like this, and then you put a close tag like this. This is how you write a PHP. Of course, now this has changed. I've seen it, but I'm still going to stick to this classic way of writing PHP code. So when you write like this, when you write $PHP and question mark close bracket like this, open bracket here, and or rather less than symbol here and greater than symbol here. It's like closing it, basically closing the PHP code. What you're basically telling to the Apache server or the Linux server which is running through XAMPP is that whatever I'm going to write here is PHP code. So what XAMPP will do or Apache server will do, it will run this particular PHP, whatever you write inside that, and whatever result, if at all you create some result, that is the only thing that will go to the client side. So all these will go for sure because that is not PHP, that is all HTML and CSS and Bootstrap and all that. But this will not go to the client side. So please remember this part, the server, the client. It may become a little confusing right now, but once you start programming, all this is going to be pretty easy and simple. So here, if at all I write, let us say, hello world, I just write like this, hello world. I'm just writing hello world here. Okay. What will happen is you will see that there is an error symbol coming here. That's an error symbol, and that's another beautiful advantage of NetBeans, that it will show you error as soon as you type it. It is not that you need to write 100 lines of code and then you try to show it on a browser or a client side and then you see it's not working. No, that's not what happens. Most of the errors, NetBeans identifies that you've made a mistake because it has its own error files. So it identifies that you've made a mistake and it will show you that. So now let us see what that error is. So if I come here, it says syntax error, unexpected identifier world and hello. The reason is because there is nothing like hello world in PHP. There is nothing like that. Okay. So, or why should I say hello? Let's say I say free training. There is nothing like free training in PHP. Okay. So it's an error. It's throwing an error. So here, what you will have to do is you will have to enclose the whole thing in codes to make PHP understand that it is just a string or it is just a text. So you have to put it in. So what I have done is I just selected the whole thing and then I clicked double quotes on my keyboard. So it automatically puts, that's another advantage of NetBeans IDE, that you need not have to put a double quote on the left side and then go to the right side and put another double quote. So you just have to select the whole thing and put a quote, it will just place it on both the sides. So now you don't see an error here because this particular thing is a string. Okay, it's a string and PHP understands that it is a string because you put it inside quotes. Now if I save this and if I come here and refresh this particular page, okay, if I refresh this particular page, nothing really happens. You will not even see the PHP here or the open and close PHP, or you don't see the free training, none of them. Even if I go to the page source, okay, even here also you do not see that. As I said, none of these PHP would come to the client side. So they have not even come to the client side. However, you'll see a space there because I put a space here. So you will see that in this browser here, you will actually notice a space. You'll see that there is a space on top. That's because after the closing PHP, I have put a space. So let me remove that here, and you'll see that that alone will come there. Okay, so I removed the space here. I've saved it, and I'm coming and refreshing this page. So you'll not see any change here, of course. And when you go to page source, you will see that the space has been removed on the top. So this is very important to understand what is happening. Now I will come to the echo part. Okay. Before that, let me just update this. So I'll come to the echo part where I'm going to type echo here, and I am saving this. And then when I come here and refresh this, okay, you will see that it has come here. Free training has come here. So what echo does is it basically takes some string or some value on the server. It takes it on the server. Okay, echo takes that on the server and it renders it to the client. It sends it to the client. That is what echo does. Okay, so if you want, and it's very important, echo is one command in PHP that I love the most because I almost use it in almost every single project that I work on, because that's how you ultimately show the result. Okay, echo is one way in which you actually show the result, and ultimately what matters is that you show the result, not what you program. What result are you bringing out? What clarity do you have in mind? That is what matters the most. So echo is one command I love in PHP a lot. It's a silly, simple command, but it is I believe in the crux of what PHP is required for. So we have learned what echo does. It just renders this to the client side. So this does not come, this does not come. Even the word echo does not come because echo is a command in PHP. Now we will close the training here. Sukanya, if you have a doubt, you can ask me. Please unmute and you can ask me.
No doubt, sir, but you not said about Sublime, sir.
About?
Sublime.
Yeah, Sublime text. Yes, good question. So what I'll do is I'll cover a little bit about Sublime, and then we'll close. Okay. So Sublime also is something that I have used in few of the programs. So basically, this is Sublime. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So it is also quite a good programming language, and they also have a free version, and they also have quite a good number of tools, like you can do multiple selects, and you can edit at the same time in different places. You can jump to different files. You can you can even when you are in a particular like for example, when you are over here. When this particular code is there here, it will even show you where is the actual file where that particular function is there. So Sublime shows you that, and it helps you to go directly to that particular file. So it's indexing my files right now. You can see at the bottom here 9% index. So that's why probably when I click here, that particular suggestion did not come, because I'm not using Sublime much now. I have completely moved to NetBeans because it is little more helpful with PHP programming. So that's why I do not use Sublime. But if you're just starting off and if your computer is little slow, then you can probably go with Sublime, because NetBeans requires a little more processing speed than Sublime. But I would strongly recommend you to use NetBeans as you're advancing in your programming. Yeah. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So thank you very much. So what we will do is next, we will in the next class, we will cover conditional statements. We will discuss on conditional statements. So let me just put that here and close it. Next is conditional statements. So we'll put that here and I'll end the session.
Okay.
So thank you very much, Suganya. Thank you for being there and participating in today's live class. I hope it was quite useful. Thank you very much. And of course, the YouTube live sessions will start again from next week. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It is very useful for me, sir.
Definitely. That is the aim also. I hope everybody will spend at least 8 hours every day to learn at the most, very fast, and keep progressing forward. Thank you.
Okay, sir. I try to my best, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.